Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live after 5 a.m. and we are working on Sprite Smash. Here we are. Here's my GUI. I've got my Frogger going around the screen and I'm going to smash him. Today we want to work on being able to touch the Sprite, smash it, get points, figure out if we hit it or we miss it. If we miss it, we want to get points or we'll tally these over here, and if we hit it, we want to go ahead and get points and scores. And you guys could add a score in there if you want. That could be your upgrade tomorrow. Today we also want to do the pause and play button, and then we're going to go down here and do the reset button, and then maybe we'll get into some voice. Okay, and finish up. Tomorrow I'll probably show you how to download a song and put a song into your game. Probably not today, probably tomorrow. So. All right, here we go. Let's go back into blocks. I think some of us missed this yesterday, so I'm going to go ahead and do this again. This is basically your so your screen initialize starts your game, right? And then after we play the game, we're going to hit the reset button, right? So we're going to be constantly playing the game, starting it and resetting it, starting it and resetting it. So if you think about this logically, starting and resetting the game are almost the same. They're pretty much alike, if they're not identical. Are you with me on that? Who agrees with me on that? Starting the game, you're starting the time at 60, right? Your points are at 0, your misses are at 0, your hits are at 0. Starting and resetting the game are the same. So with that in mind, if they are the same, then what I want to do is go ahead and create a procedure so that when I screen initialize and then down here somewhere later on, let's go ahead and just do this right now. Let's start thinking about reset right now, okay? Because it's really in the same vein here. So when you reset the game, it's going to really be like starting the game. Are you guys with me on that? So if you wanted to, I could drag this block up here, okay? Just to show you that this is a lot alike, okay? So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to create my own procedure. I can call it whatever I want. I could call it Hi Mom, okay? And then you're going to notice over here that you can go to my procedures list, and there it is, call Hi Mom. You with me on that? But I don't want to call it Hi Mom because that's not very descriptive. Are you with me on that? So I want to go ahead and go to Hi Mom and call it Start Reset Game. Who's with me on that? Does that make sense? Is that a pretty good name? We're going to be starting and resetting the game. You with me on that? So now, when I go to screen 1 initialize, I'm going to go to my procedure. I want to call start and reset the game. When I hit reset, what do I want to do? Start and reset the game. So these are both going to call this guy here. Now, what should go in here? Well, we already did this code yesterday, so all that goes in there, right? The clock gets turned on, the game clock gets set to 1,000 milliseconds, the clock move sprite gets turned on, and then the clock move sprite gets turned to 250 intervals, which is 250 milliseconds, which is happening 4 times per second. So your sprite should be moving around your screen 4 times per second. Okay, so let's go down here then. If you don't have this code, you need to get this code in here. Okay, the global hit count goes to 0, and the global miss count goes to 0, and then you display those. And then there's one more thing that I don't even have in here. We have to reset our clock. So I've got to go in here and get another one of these variables, and I want to call it my game time. Okay, what should game time be reset to? Not 0. 60, right? We start at 60. So that gets set to 60, and I'm going to copy this guy and display my time. Okay? Now, if we want to be cool, you could make some little procedures over here since we're on a little procedure kick this morning. Okay, I could take a procedure right here and call it display display, spell it right, display score. Okay, so then what I could do is take this out of here. I could put my time back in here, and I could put my display scores in here, and then anywhere I want to display score, I could just go over here and do a procedure call now and say, hey, yeah, display my score. Okay, if I wanted to create another procedure over here, that would be called display time. See, I like procedures because I think they're very descriptive about what you're trying to accomplish. Are you with me here? So now I can go right here and display my time, and I can go display my time, right? And it'll display my time. Okay? Or if you wanted to, it would kind of make sense to just do this. That gets reset to 0, right? And then this one, here's where I display it, and here's where I'm resetting it, right? And then this one over here is where I'm resetting the time, and then here's where I'm displaying the time. So, you know, if you want to get these logically correct, that would probably be more logically correct right there. Okay, let me see if I can fit this guy over in here. I can't. All right. So you guys see how I can do that? Like right here now. Guess what? I don't need this block of code anymore. Delete. What can I put in there? This is where I was calling display the time. Okay, and now what that does for me, it just shortens my code up. I don't have millions and millions of blocks. That could confuse you guys. Now it's pretty simple. Hey, display the time. This is where I'm displaying my time. If you wanted to. If you want to leave it, go ahead and leave it. You know, you don't have to. It's doing the same thing. But once again, this is like when you dial a phone number, you add them to your contact list. Why? So you don't have to dial that number every time, right? You don't have to rewrite all that code every single time. Now I just say, hey, call display my time. I've already done it. I've already done it one time. Hey, call display my score. Hey, I've already done that one time. Okay? Who's with me on this? Okay. So now your reset button's done. We just did the reset button. Was that hard to do? Look at the code of the reset button. What do you have to do for the code for the reset button? Just call your procedure. Hey, call reset. Oh, okay. I've already done it. Thumbs up if you're with me here. Okay. Yes. Once again, I go back to, if you can think it, I can show you. Okay. If you can think it, you can do it. Are you with me? All I need is the idea. You have the idea, I can create it. All right. All right, let's come down here and let's work on smashing the sprite. What should happen when we smash the sprite? Yeah, when you touch it on the screen. What? It could if you wanted to do that, but you don't have to. I don't think the moles and whack-a-mole stop when you hit them, do they? They keep going. Right, but ours is going to go a lot faster than theirs. So when you tap the sprite, right, you get points, right? When you hit it, we're going to increase our hit counter. When you miss it, we're going to increase our miss counter. Are you guys with me on that? Everybody clear on that? So let's do it. Okay. So when the image sprite, does everybody have this? If you don't have this, let me go show you where I got it. Okay. So you go down to your image sprite player and you scroll through here, and I don't want to drag, I don't want to flung, I don't want to touch down, touch up, I want touched. When it's touched, your finger taps it, smashes it. Okay. What's going to happen here? You're going to get a point, right? So you go to your variable, and then we're going to set our hit count, do the math, add, right? And we're going to add on to our getting of our hit count, and we're going to add +1. You guys know what I'm doing. And this is great. Guess what I can do now? Call display what? Am I displaying the score here? Yeah. So I can just call display score. Done. How cool was that? What's that? Yeah. Now, how do we do the miss? Woo! How do we do the miss? How do we do the miss? So you guys got to think about this now. This is a little bit more intuitive, okay? This takes a little bit more thinking. Yeah. All right, so we're back to our thinking here. So here's what you have to think. Let's go back here for a second, okay? I'm going to go back to my designer. So if my finger taps the screen, right? And my finger did not hit the sprite. Are you with me? Yeah, we got to make a noise. Oh, by the way, thank you. If we hit the frog, smash the frog, right? Then I want to make a sound, okay? So remind me we need to do that, okay? We'll put that code block in. Sound, play sound, right? If we hit the screen and we don't hit the sprite, that should be classified as what? A miss. All right, so let's do that. So are you ready? All right, so watch this. If the playing field is touched, are you with me? What do you have to classify this at? Right? Touched any sprite. Set touched any sprite to. Okay. If the canvas playing field is touched, then I can actually just go ahead and duplicate this. Take this out. Delete that. And I'm going to change this to miscount. Miscount +1. Okay. Now, there's going to be an error in here. I'm going to let you guys figure this out. Okay. Now, someone who said the sound? Who was with me on the sound? Okay, Micah, and who else? Isaac. Who else? Wyatt. Yeah, we need to play the sound, right? So all you do is you go down to your sounds. Sound hit. So if I So if I hit the sprite, if I touch the sprite, then I hit it. Is that right? If I touch the screen, what should happen? That's correct. Okay, so I'm going to go down here to sound miss, play my sound miss. Okay, you guys need to go and record sounds in Audacity, like, boop. We could do it right now. So in Audacity, okay, so you open up Audacity, you get it to start running. Freesound.org is a place where you can bing, 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 bah, bing, bing, bing. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. Not if you have a microphone. Your microphone, if you get close to it, will be more sensitive to your voice. And then remember, you can select the sound that you want. So even if there is, yeah, you can do that. So you go into your sounds and then you record. Bing, 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 bing. So that was it. So you play this. So here's my Bing. So that's my Bing. So file, export, selection. And I want to put this into my library. Documents, 16, 17, quarter 3. We're in Sprite Smash. And this guy is going to be rightfully named Bing. You agree with that, Fernando? Is that a good name for that one? And then this one over here is my miss. Okay, so file, export, selection, and for the sake of time, I don't know. I'm just going to call it miss because I don't know how to spell. Okay. Okay, so now I just created my sounds. How long did it take us to create sounds in Audacity? Not very long at all, right? So now I go back to my designer. Okay, I go into sound hit. I have a source file. I upload the source file just like I did an image. Are you with me? And there's I think I have to load it from my documents. You don't really erase, just don't save it. And there it is. There's my Bing wave file. You open it up. You hit OK. And that went in, so that's good. And now you go down to your sound miss, upload your source file, and you go in here to miss, and you hit OK. And now I have my 2 sounds in there, and now those sounds play. How hard was that? I think that took us like a minute 30 seconds. And I wasn't really even going that fast. Okay? So you just go back to your Audacity, right? And then you just highlight the part that you want. Do you see the WAV file in there? So let's say you just wanted that part there. What happens if I wanted the back end of this? Oh, that sounds cool. Do you guys realize how like that sounded very like techno? Was that my voice though? Yeah, that's my voice. That's why this is cool. You can select any part of this you want. That's all voice activated. Are you with me? Okay. You can just pick any part of these that you want. Wow, that sounded like, I'm not going to say what that sounded like. That sounds like you just relieved yourself. Tooted. Yes. Someone tooted. The what? Oh my. All right, so my sounds are working. Are you with me on this? Okay. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. We did this. Your miss is not gonna work right. And I want you guys to figure out mathematically how do you do a miss. All right. So here we go. Moving right along. What's next? What? Pause play. Very good. Pause play. Let's do pause play. Okay, now we're going to have fun with pause play because remember, I'm going to be changing the button. Okay, just like my Microsoft Media Player, right? You guys with me on this? Who understands what I'm going to do? We're going to toggle back and forth between pause and play. Okay? Now, in order for me to do that, I have to have a counter. And I'm going to be counting how many times I hit pause and play. Okay? You guys with me on that? And here's what's going to happen. It's going to start out some way. Pause or play, button, play starts or whatever. Doesn't matter. And then we're going to count every time we hit it. And have you guys ever noticed that when you count, there's a kind of a cool pattern to it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It always goes odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even. Right? So what we can do is if it's odd, we display one button. And if it's even, we display the other button. Are you with me on that? And that count can go on forever. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and hit the pause play button. And right here, I'm going to create a variable called pause play count. Pause play count. And I'm going to set it to 0. Okay? So when you click the pause play button, you're going to increase this count. Okay, by 1. Pause play count. Math. Pause play count plus 1. Go get it. Plus 1. All right. You have to register for freesound.org. Okay, so now we got to do an if statement on this and figure out if we're odd or even. Okay, I'll add a comment here. Figure out odd or even. Okay, I'll drag this over here. We got to figure out if we're odd or even. So if, and this is going to be cool, we're going to do some math in here. I'm going to show you how to do a mod. Okay, a mod. A mod is a modulus. Okay, you guys have never ever studied modulus, but you have indirectly. Okay, do you guys ever remember doing long division? Okay, do you guys ever remember doing long division? You put the house over top, put the numbers on the inside, the divisor on the outside. You with me? And that number on the outside goes into the number on the inside, and then you do a R remainder 3. Okay, remainder something. You remember that? The modulus looks at the remainder. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide my count by 2. Okay? And if my count divided by 2, if 2 can go into the count evenly, guess what? What is it, odd or even? Okay? So, I'm going to show you how to do this. If math, let's go get a mod. Here it is. And here we go. So I need an equal to also. Won't let me do it without an equals. Here we go. So if the count, go ahead and get my count. If my count, no, what count do I want? Pause play count, there it is. If my pause play count divided by 2 is equal to 0, okay? So maybe I ought to do a whiteboard on this. Are you guys with me on that? Okay, so here's what your count's going to do. Are you ready? I'll go back to it. So here's your pause play count. You guys with me? Your pause play count's going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ... Are you with me on that? You guys with me? I'm just going to press the button and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right? Now, the modulus, okay? The modulus is going to be dividing this number by 2 and figuring out the remainder. Okay? So when I take 1 divided by 2, will 2 go in there? Will 2 go into 1? No. What's the remainder then? The remainder is 1. Will 2 go into 2? Yes, 1 time. What's the remainder? 0. 2 goes into 2 evenly, right? No remainder. 0. Okay? Will 2 go into 3? Yes, it goes in there 1 time. What's the remainder? 1. Will 2 go into 4? Yes, how many times? 2 times. Goes in there 2 times. Remainder of 0. You guys see a pattern here? Will 2 go into 5? Yeah, how many times? Twice. 2 times 2 is 4. Remainder of 1. Will 2 go into 6? Yeah, how many times? 3 times. What's the remainder? 0. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. Right, and that's why I showed you that pattern, right? Every 2 times it's going to be it's either going to be a 0 or a 1 every time when you do divided by 2. 2 goes into every single number. It goes into every number. It's either odd or even the remainder. Okay, who gets this? So back to code. This is a great lesson here. This is why I'm doing this. This is why this is great, right? You guys get to learn all this cool stuff. This is good high-powered computer science. Yeah. Okay. So if okay, so and then we're going to need an else if in here. Okay, and I'll just duplicate all this. And just for the sake of knowledge, I'll put a 1 here. Okay. There's an equal sign in there. Make sure you got an equal, okay? Let me pull this back out so you can see it. Do you guys see the equal 0 in there? Make sure you have the equals, and then you go get the modulus, and then inside the modulus, you got to put the pause play count divided by 2. Okay? So now we can just figure this out. So if the pause play count divided by 2 is 0, what do you guys know? This is even, right? 0 is even, 1 is odd. You guys with me on that? So I could add a comment here. Okay. That means this guy is odd. ODD. Okay. If I right click and add a comment here, that means this guy is, I don't like that though. Maybe I ought to put him over here. Okay. This guy's odd, this guy is even. And now we can just take a pick. Which one do you want to be play and which one do you want to be pause? Let's kind of, I think logically we should probably say, okay, the game starts out playing, right? Are you guys with me on that? So the first time we go odd, so if the game's playing, I think we should display pause, right? Would that make sense? If the game is playing, we should display pause on the button. This could get confusing for some of you. Yeah, so if the game is playing, I'm going to ask it to pause. Once I ask it to pause, then I'm going to ask it to play, okay? So if we're even here, okay, then what I want to do is I want to come down to my pause play button, and I want to change its image. Let's see if it has an image. Yeah, there it is. Set image. You guys see it? So, and then I'm going to copy this. Yeah, and now I got to show you exactly how to do this. So you got to go get a text message here, okay? Now, this is where it's going to get a little crazy for you guys. Computer science is an exact science, okay? You have to get this name correct. Are you with me? So watch this. I need you guys just to watch and not do this one until I'm finished, and then I want you to go do it, okay? Everybody watch. Nobody on your computer. Nobody looking at your screens. Everybody looking up here. I'm going to go back to my designer. I'm going to figure out the name of my image. Okay, watch this. Okay, so I'm going to go into my media file. Here it is. Pause. Okay, let's go here. What image is this? That image right there is audio player icon 4.png. Are you with me on that? And then the other one is pause Q. Do you guys see that? Right. So, right. Okay, so what I'm going to do, here's another way of doing it. I could go into my documents file, and I'm not going to type this name out, because if I type the name out wrong, it won't work. Are you guys with me on that? Yeah, so what I'm going to do, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy and paste. Watch this. So, here it is. So here's my audio player icon. I'm going to copy that, Control C that. I'm going to go back into my code, okay, and I got to think about this, okay. Playing should go here, Control V, and this has to be a .png, okay. That's my exact name. See what I did? Now I can go back to my designer. Let me see if I can type this other one out. Here, let's do this. Let's go to pause Q. Let's see if this is the right one. Yeah, that's the right one. So now I think it's not going to let me copy it. Okay? I'm going to try. This is not that hard. Pause -Q .png. It's not that hard, so I'm going to go ahead and type it out. Are you with me? Because it's not that hard. So the next one is pause -Q QUEUE .png. Okay? Are you with me on that? So that is where I am getting those guys to change the icons. So when you click it once, it's going to go to odd, and you're going to change it to play. Control V. Control V as in Victor. whatever your pictures are. Now, here's the thing. Everybody in this room is going to have different icon names. You probably did not download the exact same ones as me. Are you with me on that? You have to go figure out your name of your icon. How do you do that? Here's the easiest way. Go to your media list. Everybody see your media list right here? Okay. And then you can click on it right here, and you can see what its name is. Or you can go right here to your image name right here and click on it and see what its name is. You guys with me on that? You have to go get the exact name. QUEUE.png. I have to spell it exactly, and that's why I highly encourage you to copy and paste. Okay. Another way to do it, the easier way to do it, is to go right here. Here it is. Pause and go to this name right here. Control C. Paste it in there. Go back to your, okay. Go back to your blocks. Go here. And then hit Control V. Now, the only thing I have to remember here is that it is a .png. You with me? You got to get that prefix right, because if you don't have the prefix, it won't call it. Okay? One's the player. One's the play button, the little play triangle, and one's the pause, the the vertical parallel lines. So we're going to toggle back and forth between it's just like my player right here. Okay. You guys remember my player the other day when I hit these buttons? All right, now let's go ahead and handle the clock. That's the hard part. What should the clock do when you hit pause and play? Start and stop. So, okay, we have to go down to our clock game time. Okay, and we're going to set timer enabled to go get a logic statement. If it's running, it's true. I got to get this right. I don't know if I got this right. I got to figure out my thinking on that. What should happen to the Sprite clock? It should pause and play also, right? So you can just copy this. Okay. So if it's even, yeah, if it's even, we're running. If it's odd, we're paused. So do you guys know how to duplicate these and change these? There's my game time. This guy's going to go to false, off. This guy's going to go to false, off. Boom, done. All right, you just turned the clocks on. You just turned the clocks off. And you did something really cool. You toggled those pictures back and forth. And now you got a professional one-button app that does the pause and play. Let's go ahead and run it, and let's see if this works. A few more minutes, right? 5 minutes? 4 minutes. All right, so we just ran the app, right? We have some logical errors in our app. Are you with me? And this is good because now you guys have to fix them. You got to be smarter than your app. I don't know. I don't know what your images are. No, we were only changing the play button's image. Okay, but by the way, if you guys wanted to tap the sprite and change the sprite, could you do that? Could I have like a frog and then a smash frog come up on the screen? Yeah, it'd be the same way as I just did it, right? Set the image. So, Morgan is absolutely correct here when she says, hey, the pause button's off, right? Or you pause the game. Should you be able to get points when you pause the game? No. So here's what we have to do. You have to turn the sprite off. You have to disable the sprite so you can't tap it. Okay? So let's go to pause. Where's pause at? Pause was 1 or 0? No. 0 is play. That's why the pause button is showing. 1 is paused. So, you're going to go to your image sprite player, okay, And there should be like there it is, an enabled. And you're going to turn it off. Okay? And then we also need to turn off our, should I be able to touch the canvas and hit misses? No, I got to turn my canvas off too. So you go to canvas, enabled. Let's see if there's an enabled in there. Huh. Huh. Hmm. Well, I guess what we could do is set the canvas to invisible. You with me? I don't see an enabled on the canvas. Do you guys see an enabled on the canvas? So I guess we'll go to visible's false. You're at negative 70 seconds. That means you didn't do the if statement and stop it at 0. Now, here's a good lesson. If you turn something off, what do you have to do? Turn it back on. So when you got to duplicate these, and you're going to go to true. Okay. All right, let's see if that works.